279th District Court of Jefferson County, Texas, and it's in the interest of Harmony, Desire, and Patience Raymond. Mr. James Raymond, I want you to raise your right hand and tell me that your hand is in the air.
My hand is in the air.
Mr. Raymond, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Who?
Thank you. Ms. Patton, would you raise your right hand? Ms. Patton, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can put your hand down. Ms. Alexander, are you handling this case for state?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Do you have any other witnesses besides the parties?
No other witnesses, Judge.
Now, your case has been called. You can call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state will call Miss Patton. Miss Patton, what is your full name?
Terry Tyrell Patton.
Okay. And what are the names of the children before the court today? Okay. And what is Harmony's date of birth? And what is Desire's date of birth? And what is Patience's date of birth? Okay. And who is the father of all three children?
James Raymond.
Okay. And did both of you sign an acknowledgement of paternity? And it was a document that would probably been signed close to when they were born.
Yes.
And it was an acknowledgement of paternity for all three children, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Your Honor, the state would enter the state's exhibit, the acknowledgement of paternity for all three children.
Are you asking to offer them all at one time?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let me see if I can get this done.
So we've got, yeah, if you want, the state would enter the state's exhibit, the acknowledgement of paternity for Harmony.
Ms. Patton, I've just put on the screen a copy of the alleged acknowledgement of paternity for the child Harmony Raymond. Is it okay if I look at this document?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Mr. Raymond, the same question. May I look at Harmony's acknowledgement?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Patton, I've now placed on the screen a copy of the alleged acknowledgement for Desire. Is it okay if I look at this acknowledgement?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Raymond, same question. May I look at Desire's acknowledgement?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Patton, I've now placed the last acknowledgement. Oh, I think that's the same one. Let me see if I can find Patience. There we go. Can y'all see Patience's acknowledgement on the screen, Ms. Alexander?
Yes, I do.
All right. Ms. Patton, I've now placed Patience's acknowledgement on the screen. May I look at this acknowledgement?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Raymond, the last question. May I look at Patience's acknowledgement?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that's also admitted into evidence. So all the acknowledgements of paternity have now been admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit A.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Patton, do you know where Mr. Raymond is located right now?
Somewhere up North Texas, some prison up North Texas that I don't know of.
Okay, so is he in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice?
I guess that's the prison.
Okay. And do you happen to know what he's incarcerated for?
My understanding is probation violation as of right now.
Okay. Your Honor, the state would enter the state's exhibit, the TDCJ information.
Ms. Patton, I've now placed on the screen a copy of the alleged inmate information details report from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. May I review this document?
Yes, sir.
Same question, Mr. Raymond. May I look at this document for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit B is admitted into evidence.
Ms. Patton, the state sees in there for aggravated assault. Was that assault against you?
On that one, no. That was on someone trying to protect me, and he aggravated assaulted them.
Okay.
He assaulted me, and someone tried to help me, and he assaulted them.
Okay. And do you happen to know when that occurred?
Oh man. It was over 10 plus years ago. He was on 10 years probation for that. So
Okay. Okay.
our oldest daughter was the only child we had at the time.
Okay. Has there been a history of family violence between you and Mr. Raymond prior to his incarceration?
Yeah.
And what were those, what was the family violence?
I've beaten, hit in the eye. I have boxer ears on both ears. I have been burned. I've been hit in the head with an oxygen tank. I have the scar here. Just multiple things, constantly hitting throughout the year, punching,
Okay.
kicking.
And were all of this, did these happen prior to him being incarcerated?
Yes. This is
Okay.
this last incarceration, yes. All this happened throughout the past 16 years.
Okay. And was the police ever called?
Yes, ma'am. I've had police reports. Sergeant Barrero has a whole case file full of every incident that happened between us.
Okay. And do you know if there's any pending charges against
Yes,
Mr. Ray? There are?
yes.
Okay. Out of what county are those pending charges?
Jefferson County.
Jefferson County. All right. And does Mr. Raymond have to know where you live?
No, he doesn't know where I live.
Okay. Are you asking the court to not put your address into the court record?
Yes, I'm asking. Please do not.
And you and Mr. Raymond lived together prior to his incarceration.
Yes.
Okay. And just to clarify, did the beatings and everything, did they stop upon him being incarcerated?
Yes. So I left him. Yes.
Okay. How are the children covered with health insurance?
Medicaid.
Okay. Now, you said you were living together prior to Mr. Raymond's incarceration. Is that correct?
Yes.
No further questions.
Oh, you
No
next.
further questions. The state will call Mr. Raymond. Mr. Raymond, what is your full name?
James Devon Raymond.
Okay. And where are you currently?
I'm in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
Okay. And how long have you been in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice?
How long?
Yes, how long? When were you sent to the Texas Department of Criminal Justice?
December of 2019.
Was it 2020? Does that sound about right?
He
I
said
believe it
2019,
was.
Miss
Okay.
Alexander.
The only on the Texas Department it says he was sentenced that date. Okay. And prior to you being incarcerated in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, were you in jail somewhere prior to that?
Yes.
Okay. And where was that? What county?
Jefferson County.
Okay. And how long had you been in Jefferson County Jail before you were transferred to Texas Department of Criminal Justice?
I'm really not sure. It was a while.
Okay. More than a year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No further questions, Judge.
Okay. What you asking for, Miss Alexander?
Well, he's been incarcerated for at least the last 4 years, so there'd be no retro child support, no medical, no child support would be said, no medical support. Just that the appropriate conservatorship visits, if any.
Have you made your case for non-disclosure?
I believe I have, Judge. There's been none
Have you
since
proved a single incident of family violence in the last 2 years?
he's been incarcerated, Judge, for the last 3 years.
So the answer to the question is no, you have not proven any non-disclosure issues in the last 2 years.
But I believe there's none that have occurred because he's incarcerated. And I believe the court can
Does
look at
the statute of case law make any exceptions for the fact that he was incarcerated during the last 2 years?
I don't have my code in front of me, Judge, but I think the court can look at a history beyond 2 years.
Well, if you're able to find some case law on that, you let me know, will you? I can't find anything on it.
Okay.
Ms. Patton, were you and Mr. Raymond living together up until the point in time that he was incarcerated?
Yes, we were. It was kind of, I want to
That's
say
okay,
kind
Ms.
of
Patton.
forced.
I just wanted to know if y'all were living together up until the point in time that y'all were separated.
Yeah. Yes, sir. It's forced.
You said that there are currently pending criminal charges in Jefferson County against Mr. Raymond?
Yes, I have charges filed against him. They haven't been filed with the court yet.
That's kind of strange because they generally don't file criminal charges against
I
folks that are in TDCJ. They usually leave
well,
them
see,
in the county until they
he's
get
in
all of their
prison.
cases, all their stuff
He,
finished.
he's in prison for his his probation, but not for my charges I filed against him. They haven't called those cases yet. I've called, they said they haven't pulled
Okay.
those cases yet.
Mr. Raymond, you're going to be in TDC for the next several months, yeah?
Yes, sir, I am.
Are you aware of any pending criminal charges in Jefferson County against you?
Yes, sir.
Your probation was revoked, Mr. Raymond, because of an aggravated assault. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Not. Did that aggravated assault involve somebody that was trying to help Miss Patton?
Yes and no. And no, yes, sir.
Nah, there's no yes and no. That's pretty simple. Was the victim somebody that was trying to help Miss Patton? That's just yes or no.
No, sir.
Huh. Mr. Raymond, what are you hoping that I'm going to be able to do for you in this case today?
I just wanted to get visitations whenever
How are you going to get visitation, Mr. Raymond? You're in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. They're not going to let you out to come visit.
Whenever I get released, at least I can get visitations with my kids.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll take that back up again once you get released. I don't know when that could be yet. I mean, according to the document from TDCJ, that might not be for another 5 years.
Our kids will be grown.
That's okay, Miss Patton. I'll ask you questions when I need some information, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm not saying you're going to be in there for that long, Mr. Raymond, but that's what TDCJ is your projected release date. You may make parole by then, but right now that's what it kind of looks like you might be in there for, right? Have you had any parole hearings at this point in time, Mr. Raymond?
My first one is next year.
Right. Okay. So the answer is no, you have not had any parole hearings at this time. Okay. Ms. Patton, is there anything else that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
No, not that I know of. And then pretty much he can't do anything. Then I gotta do everything myself here. So no.
Well, yeah, I mean he's locked up. There's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do for you while he's locked up.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the visitations, he's too far away from visitation, and the kids don't want to.
I'm not going to grant visitation today, Ms. Patton. He's locked up. He can't exercise it. When he gets out,
Okay.
I'll readdress that then. But
Okay, by the
today,
time our kids will be grown.
well, I mean, I don't know if they'll be grown or not. I haven't done the math on it, but I'm just telling you that that's kind of how that works. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I mean, your kids aren't going to be grown. Patience is only
She'll be the
11.
last one.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
only
she'll be
11 now.
Yeah, in 5 years she'll be like 16, 17. She'll be almost grown.
Well, I mean, you're assuming that he's not gonna get out until 29. I don't necessarily
That's
know.
not,
Okay.
that's correct. I'm not assuming, but I just phone them off when my kids say they don't have nothing to do with it. They don't want them to have a number,
I don't-
address. They don't want
I don't
nothing
know,
to do.
Ms. Patton, I don't allow the children in my court to determine what happens to them. When
That's
they get
fine. I
to be-
understand.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
when they
I,
get to be adults, then I give them a voice. But until then, you don't have the right in the state of Texas to say no to visitation. You have the right to say no to custody, but you don't have the right to say no to
so,
visitation.
so the kids say they don't want to go. I can't tell them they can't go. They have to go.
Yes, ma'am. You have to make them available to Mr. Raymond when and if I ever give him visitation at any time in the future.
Wow. Okay, I'll let them know that they have to go.
Okay. Again, that's not something that they need to worry about today. There's no reason to put undue pressure on your
Well, my
children.
oldest one is 17. She's kind of
Well,
worried
then
about it. She's 17.
Yeah, I mean, by the time Mr. Raymond gets out of jail, she'll be emancipated. So it won't make any difference. She can make adult choices.
That's fine. It's up
I
to
think
you,
you guys
Judge.
are worried. I think you guys are worrying about a lot of stuff that really isn't going to have any impact on the kids for
It's
years.
not that I don't want to have anything to do with the man. He's messed up my life and my kids' life, so I don't want nothing to do with him. But that's fine. Anything
Yeah, and
that you rule is
I
fine.
don't disagree with you, Miss Patton, but I mean, he's their father. I mean, I didn't make that situation. I'm just trying to do the best I can to get around the fact that he's in TDC.
That's fine. I understand. I'm just doing a factor what my kids are talking to me about, but I understand where you're coming from. You have your
Yeah.
point. I have mine. I can't do anything about it till he ever get
Right.
paroled. That's fine. Whatever.
Right. I mean, that's when it'll have to be worried about is when and if he makes parole and which of your children are still underage when that happens.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Raymond, is there anything else you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
All right. The court's going to find the court has jurisdiction. The court's going to find that it is not in the children's best interest to name the parties as joint managed conservators. Ms. Patton will be named as the parent with the right to establish the primary residence as the sole managed conservator. Mr. Raymond will be named as a possessory conservator. There will be no domicile restriction in this case, and the request for non-disclosure is granted. However, there will be no finding of family violence in this case, Ms. Alexander, but I will grant the request for non-disclosure.
Thank you, Judge.
I will make the finding that Mr. Raymond is currently incarcerated. He's going to be there for at least the next 90 days. Therefore, there will be no visitation awarded at this time. He's incarcerated. He can't exercise at this time. That's something that'll have to be addressed when we get out. I will order Ms. Patton to maintain the current health insurance that she has on the children. And I'll make the finding that since Mr. Raymond's in jail, he is unable to pay child support or medical support. Therefore, his child support and his medical support will be set at 0, effective January the 1st of 2024. Any request for retroactive child support in this case is denied. Ms. Alexander, do the state of Texas hear all the terms and conditions of my court order?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Patton, Mr. Raymond, what's going to happen now is Ms. Alexander is going to send me a court order. If it matches what I said here today, I'm going to sign it and get it back to them. Then they're going to make a copy of it and send it to each of you, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I reserve the issue of visitation. That'll be something that I'll be take up when and if Mr. Raymond gets out of prison, if the children are still under 18. Okay. Mr. Raymond, you got any questions?
No, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. Ms. Patton, do you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right. Y'all are both free to go. They'll mail you a copy of it. You're both free to go.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.